Hello, and welcome to Queer Abbey, the weekly chat show that is performed, recorded, and produced by yours truly. Welcome, and thank you for tuning in. It is the 44th episode of Queer Abbey, and per tradition, I am recording it on Saturday night, really like Sunday morning, actually, at like 1 a.m. So, yeah. I am excited to share with you this week a really cool and unique musical spotlight, which will be at the end of the episode. I am doing laundry right now, just to let you in to my personal secrets. And I am gonna start my last term of school in 2 days, which is really exciting for me. I graduate in this spring term, and I'm just like foaming at the mouth because I at the prospect of not having to be in class and having a little bit more time to allocate towards my hobbies and personal interests and career and everything of that sort. Yeah, so that's super exciting. I have really enjoyed being in school. There's been the major ups and major downs for sure, but I've met so many people that I feel like the experience is just like undeniably worthwhile because of that alone, you know? This podcast has been a really profound reflection of that, and how everybody's creativity is like kind of transcribed upon me, and like I just get to witness all of this really, really cool intellect and talent around me, and it's been really, really cool to learn and grow in the midst of all of that. It's one of those where I'm going to be struggling to for words a little bit, but that's okay. I've been watching White Lotus, which is a very popular show. It's about like really rich white people traveling, basically, and it kind of talks about social interplay like between like classes, like of like really rich people and really poor people, and how rich people have these like problems of their own that are maybe a little self-absorbed and just like thinking about what other people think about them, and what they have time to worry about because they're so rich, you know, and it causes all of these super stupid like social dynamics. And it's kind of dark and like a little weird. And so notoriously this season there's a gay incest scene, which I loved because sorry, that's so controversial and gross to say. I probably can't put this episode on YouTube, low-key, because I just said that. Whatever. But anyway, there's like raunchy, weird stuff happening where there's like a stepbrother or a brother or something that like gets all like handsy with another dude because they do like ecstasy, and then they're like having like this group sex encounter. And I just love when people push the boundaries with media, I have to say. I know it's something that so many people are going to like buck at and be revolted by, and in a way that pleases me. Also, they're actors, so like I could just like get over it. I'm forced to see all of this like weird shit all the time, like Game of Thrones, and people are fine with it because it's like very much catered towards the gaze of like straight men. I actually didn't watch Game of Thrones at all because there was so much like weird sex in it and like rapey incest scenes and stuff, but it wasn't anything that seemed like it was telling a story to me. And this was involved in like really interesting storytelling, you know, so it's just like it like has a purpose, and it's also shocking, which is why I have an appreciation for it. Yeah. Anyway, I don't love when there's like weird sex scenes in movies and it's not akin to the storytelling, you know, like when it's jarring and it doesn't make sense. It's like, why is this here? Like, I don't want that, you know? But I do love things that are cutting and edgy. Like American Horror Story, the first couple seasons, then it was really bad afterwards. But like the first couple seasons of American Horror Story were kind of like that, where it's like very sexual, but in this like way that drives the storytelling. You know, it's very carnal and like real, not like forced and stupid. Oop. Oh, I just realized I forgot to put lip gloss on. Speaking of being carnal and also forced and stupid. I did a photo shoot this week and a little video for a studio, and that was really fun. I'm not like some big time crazy model or anything, but I do some adult work for a studio that works mostly with trans people, and they pay me sometimes to do some little videos of just me and being pretty, and we take some pictures together. And then on top of that, the producer, the person who creates these images and videos and everything and edits them and does the lighting and all of this really awesome stuff for me, he offers to just take pictures of me for free, which is cool because we have a really lovely relationship. So I did some other pictures for my own personal use and archive. And I just felt so pretty. It was so fun. I love to model sometimes. Other times it's like not fun. I don't know. That's so vague. I love to play dress up, really. And so anytime it feels like I'm just like kind of playing pretend and playing dress up with a friend and we're taking pictures together, and then in addition, there's this result of these really beautiful images or these things that feel like a creative expression, that's really awesome and really fun and enjoyable to me. However, I don't love the feeling of being like sweaty and indentured to the idea of like needing to look hot and like click of the, click of the cameras, and you're just like disoriented and there's bright lights and everything's just like hot and weird and uncomfortable. That's really the reality of being on a set sometimes. So yeah, I guess I don't always enjoy being like in front of a camera. It's fun like in this context because it's just me controlling it. I can turn it off at any time. I have like there's nobody annoying me like 5 feet away that I have to like pretend that I don't see them. You know what I mean? It can be weird to be behind a camera sometimes or in front of it. I keep vacillating on that. It's weird to do either. Yeah. Oh, there's a Marina and the Diamonds song that came out this week called Cupid's Girl. And I have been banging that one. I really like it. It's just this kind of like weird, like a little spooky, dark pop song. And it has such cheeky little lyrics. There's this one part, it's like, down with the narrow, like, doom, doom, doom. And I love it when people do onomatopoeias, like, boom, 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 in songs. It makes me so happy. Give that one a listen. I think I mentioned it earlier already, but I have a musical spotlight coming up that's going to just knock your socks off because it's accompanied by this really cool visual component. So stay tuned for that. And without too much further ado, do I have anything else to tell you? My cute nails, they're red. I got many compliments today. Oh, there is one more thing I wanted to tell you. I did my makeup today while I was helping customers at work, which I just thought was like really fierce of me. I got to work and I wasn't wearing any makeup, and I brought it with me because I knew I was going to be cheeky and try this. And so I was literally helping a customer, and I put on my like tinted moisturizer. I was just rubbing it in while I was talking to them, like, okay, cool, can I see your ID? All right, thank you so much. Da, 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 da. Okay, yeah, you want a blue raspberry flavor? All right, I'll go get that for you. And then between that customer, I put on concealer, like I globbed it onto my face. And then while I was talking to them, this person looked at me all crazy because I was literally blending concealer, like, and it looks weird during that stage. And I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, no problem. And then I had to pause for a while because we got pretty busy and I looked really weird, which was kind of funny. And then I was able to continue. I took a 10-minute break and I finished my makeup and it looks good. I added a little bit more, obviously, like I just put lip gloss on and everything. But yeah, this is the makeup that I did while I was literally talking to customers without looking, like just fucking guessing. But I've done my makeup so many times that I just like can do it without looking, basically. I proved to myself. I had to look while doing the mascara, obviously, but that's pretty much it. And yeah, the red nails. So I got lots of compliments today. People were being all nice and tipping me and stuff because it's so annoying. People are so nice when you look pretty. Like whenever I like look all like femme and pretty and I like have my nails and makeup done and stuff, people like are like nice, and it's sickening to compare like the juxtaposition of how people don't notice you as much when you don't perform that. It's just at this point it's sort of aggravating to me. Like when I look pretty and people are like noticeably nicer to me, I'm like, okay, all right, like thanks so much, because it has such a vapidness to it. There was a gentleman that asked me for my number today at work, which I appreciate usually because honestly, as a tranny, people they're not forthright. They don't just ask me for my number like, you know, in an outright way. So when it does happen once every, you know, couple months, I'm like, okay, sure. Like I kind of give a lot of, probably too many points for people just for being brave, you know? So I said, okay, sure. This was a pretty decent looking gentleman, but he's a little older than I would prefer maybe, but he was kind of hot. So I said, okay, why not? I'll give you my number. And he asked, so then I regretted it because he immediately started texting me all these salacious, fucking hellacious, crazy sexual messages. I was like at work still. He's all like, I need to beep, 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 beep. I need to, and I want to beep you and beep, beep, beep. And I'm like, okay, never mind. Like, I wish I would not have obliged you with my number. But anyway, to my point, that people treat you differently when you look like you perform beauty. Because it's just such a fucking performance, basically, you know, just set of behaviors and tones and shapes and everything that combine to create the illusion of femininity or the illusion of attraction. How meta is that? So let's move on to the next component of Queer Abbey and give a little bit of questionable advice. I'll see you after the musical interlude. Welcome back. During that short break, I got lip gloss from hitting my... Well, I was gonna lie and say I was like drinking a soda, but no, I was hitting a vape. My little adult special fun vape. And then I got lip gloss like on that, and I kind of grazed it against my white ass shirt, and I got lip gloss on the front of my shirt. Can you believe that? Isn't that fucked up? Anyway, but I fixed it. I had to go and I frantically rubbed it with some cold water and some soap. And you don't rub it in, but you kind of dab it up and out. And I got most of it. Out. I just thought I would update you. That's why you shouldn't smoke. It's bad for you. It'll stain your shirt. It's the consequences. So let's get into a little bit of questionable advice for this week of Queer Abbey. The first caller inquired, Queer Abbey, what made you enjoy life again? How do you find joy? It's very succinct. I like it, caller. So, dear listener, how did I learn to enjoy life again? Well, it's definitely a learning process that never stops. That's what I would say. I don't have a conclusive answer to that because I'm a 24-year-old. I would say that I'm honestly in a pretty good spot right now. I feel pretty happy because I've made a lot of choices in life that reflect my interests and the kind of person that I am and that I want to be. And I think that as a result, I'm a pretty happy person, you know? I've been lucky in my life to have the, I guess, ability to choose things for myself, you know? I guess that's my answer for you, which is very broad, but that's how I've come to a place of enjoying life. I know that I've really not enjoyed my life at times because of, I mean, I don't want to blame it on just everything outside of myself. I mean, being a teenager was hard, being queer has been hard, and trans, and figuring out all of these things in the midst of a society that makes me feel pretty grotesque, for being these things, and just being those things felt really consequential when I was just very small. And so regardless of who you are, maybe those exact conditions don't apply to you. Maybe you're not trans, but I think oftentimes we feel so grotesque, or we feel so monstrous for the experiences that we have. And it's difficult to wear and own the things that we go through and the things that we feel attached to. You know what I mean? I might be going on a little bit of a tangent here, but in order to enjoy life, you just must embrace all of it. You got to just open your arms up and just fucking take it all and give it a big hug. That's so woo-woo, but like, it's true. There's no running away from any part of yourself. And so in order to be happy, you have to embrace it all. That's why I think I wanted to start by saying that, like, there's ups and there's downs, and it's not just been one easy ride with like school or anything, Everything is multifaceted, and I think just, embracing the fact that everything is multifaceted, including you, that's really important and a key to my own happiness. But I'm certainly not always a happy person, So I get very grumpy, and I feel like I have to work a lot, if I'm going to be very honest. I'm sure this is the way a lot of Americans feel, to be honest, or many people across the world, who knows? But like, I'm like school and work and go, and it makes me want to just like stay up all night and play video games and turn my brain off and smoke weed. But yeah, embracing the ruggedness and weirdness of it all is really what helps me to enjoy life. That was a long answer for a short question, but you got it. Let's move on to the second prompt. Our second caller inquired, Queer Abbey, how do you enjoy being single? This is a very similar question. I'm constantly craving for company. Meaning, I'm always out on dates, and if I have no dates lined up, I will start to feel very lonely. I hang out with my friends. It's not that I don't have friends to spend time with. It's just in a romantic aspect, I need some company. I'm not sure how to work on that. Not really a fan of hookups because so far they haven't been that good at it. Okay, diva. Well, I think that I'm going to kind of draw a parallel between what I just said and what I'm going to say. A little segue, if you will. The things that you aren't willing to maybe, because, you're saying like, oh, I don't know, like, why I have this behavior. Like, how can I stop craving for attention? Maybe there's something about yourself that you need to confront, a reason that you seek these relationships or these types of connections. And I shouldn't have closed my notebook. Let's see, what was the exact wording here? How do you enjoy being single and constantly craving for company? Yeah. So the way that you can enjoy being single is by figuring out the piece of the puzzle that's missing that you're trying to fill, because there's something that you're looking for in these encounters with people, which is so common. Honestly, it's probably just human nature for like people to seek connection like that. And like, so don't be super hard on yourself. I also think it's like normal to be horny and like, do that. However, it's also important to understand why we do everything, you know? Well, you don't have to, but like it might help in this scenario if you're asking yourself, like, why can't I be single? Well, ask yourself this. What do I get out of these encounters that I have with these people? How does it make me feel? And when you ask yourself that question, really think about it and feel it and think, okay, like, how does my body feel in these moments when I'm with these people? Does it feel like I'm nervous? Do I feel comfortable? Do I feel happy or sad afterwards, or like during or before? Like, assess these feelings, and especially the way that your body feels. And I think that that's a really good way to understand how to approach it, you know? Because if you want to stop doing something, you have to understand like why you do it. Basically, if that makes sense. But I don't know. I'm not a psychologist or nothing. I don't have any training in that regard. So you might want to go see like a psychologist about that. Yeah, I hope that was helpful for me to say. Yeah, you're welcome for my little advice for you. And the hookup thing is so real, because I used to be, you know, a little promiscuous up on these like little apps and stuff like that. But it's just, I had so many unfulfilling encounters where like people talk so much game, and people are not what they say they are about 70% of the time. You know what I mean? Just like, so having less expectation is really a good thing. You know, if you want to hook up with people, it's fun. I would say like do it. To be honest, do it safely, but like do it if you want to. However, don't expect that it's going to be an extremely fulfilling encounter. Just be surprised by the quality of the encounters when you have them, I would say. You know, it's okay to just kind of like experience things and go, oh, okay, yeah, I'm good on that actually. Or like, that wasn't for me. And appreciate the things that are lovely when they happen. And yeah, appreciate them for what they are. So I think that brings us to the end of the advice segment. This is getting to be a slightly long episode. I really got a second wind, even though it's like, what time is it? 1:09 in the morning. And I look pretty, look. So I'm really excited. Let's get into the musical spotlight. Before our musical interlude, let me remind you that you can submit your advice prompt, your question, your query, your inquiry to our anonymous inbox if you would like. It's just going to be linked down in the description of the episode. Or you can text our phone number, leave a voicemail. I don't know, ring me. I don't know. No, don't do that. But you just call me over and over during the day. I have a Google Voice number that's set up for this podcast, and that's 503-567-2053. Or you can send us an email at queerabbey@gmail.com. That's QUEERABBEY@gmail.com. I don't know why that was difficult for me to recall. My tiredness did kick in for a moment there. So please reach out if you have any questions or inquiries, or if you have any music that you would like to share. That's a lovely way to reach out to me, is by sending an email or something of that nature. Leaving a voicemail. Yeah. So without further ado, let's move on to our musical spotlight. Alrighty, welcome to the final segment of the episode. This is going to be a really cool musical spotlight that features Denise Drake, who I met at school this term. We are in a sound design class together that's taught by our lovely teacher, Onwin, who I idolize a lot. So Denise is a musician. She's an engineer. Like I said, we're in the same program. And so I really love to kind of connect with the people that I'm in school with and see what they're up to. And I was so pleased when Denise was like, here, can I share this project with you? Because I'm always stunned by people's creativity and talent. So this project is called Another Other Woman. Yep, that's right. I'm double checking myself. And it's like this folk blues, very story driven song movie project. It's very cool. It's like a music video basically. And it's giving very much like Dolly Parton, sort of like Jolene vibes, but also like country, Linda Ronstadt, blues diva telling a story with this guitar in the background and this just like gorgeous bluesy, heartfelt sort of emotion pulling through. And there's some kind of silly aspects to the music video as well. I can see that there's like this like silly friendly vibe happening when some of the like things pan to Denise's friends or people that were in the music video or whatever. And it's just like fun. I love it. So let's give a watch and a listen to Another Other Woman by Denise Drake, who actually, I'm getting a little crazy before we get into it, did everything, recorded, played the instruments, and sang this song. There we go. Needed proper credit before we get into it. Now, let's get into Another Other Woman by Denise Drake.
Try and tell me you're so unhappy and she treats you so cold. I have a hard time really believing. And don't you tell me to just be patient and give you some time when we both know you're never leaving. Don't try to make me a dirty secret. No one wins, can't you see? You're gonna leave her, then leave her. Don't make another other woman out of me, out of me. If you walked a mile in my shoes, and if you thought about her, oh, you know a woman has to have her pride. So don't you give me all your sweet talk, 'cause they're just empty words. Just take them home and tell your bride. Don't try to make me a dirty secret. No one wins, can't you see? You're gonna leave her, then leave her. Don't make another other woman out of me, out of me. That I was so long ago, but time has taught me a thing or two. Like if he belongs to another, then leave him alone. He'll just do the same thing, and he'll cheat cheat on you. Don't try to make me a dirty secret. No one wins, can't you see? You're gonna leave her, then leave her. Don't make another other woman out of me. Out of me, no. Don't make another other woman out of me. Out of me. Out of me. Out of me.
All right, y'all. That was Another Other Woman by Denise Drake. And now you see why I was so excited to share with you the lovely talents of Denise. So, like I said, we were in the sound design class together where we made the Night of the Living Dead, like, redux situation. And she played Judy, which is this like little like ingenue character. And she just did such a good job. It was so fierce. I also voice acted one of the characters, Johnny. And that was so fun. So it was really cool to get to work alongside Denise. And I don't know if we have classes together next term, but it's cool to meet these sorts of really talented people and get to pick their brain a little bit. I'll chat with her a little bit more about her other projects and stuff. And I'm really excited for that. And I really enjoyed Another Other Woman. Honestly, it kind of hits some topics that are close to home with like we kind of discussed earlier, like needing to fill something with these encounters with like maybe men who are married or maybe men who are taken. And there's just this something that's missing, it feels like, all the time, especially when you're the type of woman who is not picked first, who's not the sort of Madonna figure that everybody wants to publicly be with. Oftentimes there are women who are desirable in this way that's like in kind of secret, you know, and men try to like marginalize them into these mistress roles or like into these secret sort of degrading relationships that like are not out in the light of day. And I think that's oftentimes the reality of trans women, for sure. And that's where it really hits home for me. I mean, I've definitely had that experience of people not wanting to tell their dad that I exist, even though we've dated for a year and we live together. Anyway, yeah, and Denise really kind of painted this story that I resonated with a lot. And I'm sure a lot of people resonate with in different ways, you know? Anybody who's unconventional in any way or who's like, I don't know, just not the prima donna, you know? It's hard because people don't want others to know that they want to fuck you, but they do want to fuck you. And it really causes a lot of issues. And unfortunately, that's how the world works. We're all vain and we care about what other people think so much. So, good job, Miss Denise. I would like to thank all of my listeners for making it to the end of the episode. I really appreciate everybody, my little audience. I really enjoy making these episodes each week, and I will see you next week on Queer Abbey. Don't do drugs. Okay? All right, see you later. Thank you for tuning in.